Here we are in Denver, Colorado on December 9th, 1941. Were you expecting this?
Well, not exactly. It seemed like they've been trying to compromise some sort, but when this all happened, it seemed kind of sudden.
A lot more sudden than you figured it would be.
So today, it's going to be a little bit different of an episode, but this is going to be fun. I brought you guys to work with me because after work, we're going to leave and we're going to go do something super cool. I was looking for something to do content-wise, and I kind of had some stuff more on the interior of the Stereon lined up, but something else popped up. So instead of that, I'll postpone that. I'll working into an episode for next week, but this week's episode is going to be way more cool, way more exciting. After work, let's get through today, and after that, we're going to go to Cornfield Customs, which is a custom shop in Cincinnati area that does something way cooler than just like your ordinary custom work, like putting on coilovers and stuff like that. This is different. They do different stuff. He does like all kinds of cool metalworking, builds his own body panels. Like, this dude is insane. So it'll be a really cool shop to go visit, show you some of the stuff that they do there. I did check. They're having an open house tonight. So, you know, when the opportunity popped up, I commented, said, do you mind if I come and film? And they said, nah, that's cool. I think James might come, but I'm not sure. So if he doesn't, then he's a loser anyway. But he did just get back from like a 5-day trip to LA to go pick up his cool little JDM camper. So if he does, cool. If not, we're still gonna go out there. We're gonna check the place out. I've been excited to go see this place for a long time, years. Like I've watched his stuff on Facebook and stuff. Yeah, let's go check out his shop. Let's get through the work day real quick. I've been here. I had to get up at 5 this morning to come here for a meeting. So let's get through my work day and then let's move on. Go check out his shop, and I'll bring you guys along. Let's go.
Scraps of paper, woven threads, empty bottles of wine. I keep my words close enough to see them. A foolish attempt to.
My name is David. I'm a service advisor.
You can't do that. That's racist, bro.
I can though. My people.
That's your people.
That's my primary language.
Tell me something in Vietnamese.
Konnichiwa.
Run away and on my brain.
It's time. Let's go.
Words, if you come to set me free, then let it be. So are you in my dreams or am I wide awake? I can't remember much before this day.
We're out here at Cornfield Customs. It's a local shop. He does a lot of metal fabrication. And when I say metal fabrication, it's not your standard like weld some things together. He does insane stuff. I'm also learning a lot about I was just filming some B-roll. I'm learning a lot that he does a lot of land speed stuff. So like the Bonneville salt flat stuff, they're all talking about all that. Going like 200 miles an hour, spinning out. It's cool stuff. It's really cool. Not everybody's going to be super hyped to see this because we're not in the action of like making this stuff, whatever. He does do a lot of stuff. You can follow him on Facebook. He posts a lot of his stuff there. It's just super cool. And it's a side of, automotive that especially people from the newer generation don't really see a lot, or know a lot about. A lot of them are really into it. If you're into racing, a lot of them are drag cars, drift cars, stuff like that. This is a whole different world of cars. And I think it's really cool to see that other side of the car world too. I don't know, it's kind of lucky. I didn't know that he got that into like the salt racing or like the land speed stuff and like the salt flat stuff. I didn't know how big he was into that kind of stuff. So it's cool to hear about that because it's something I don't even know a lot about. I'll walk through the shop real quick and kind of give you a heads up of some of the stuff that we're seeing.
No, I'm out here waiting. You're my lemon, baby, so come inside. And tell me all the ways I can stay awake to keep the world.
Now, forgive me if I don't know all the correct terminology. He's got this Mustang, doing a lot of stuff to metal fabrication, building a bunch of custom suspension stuff. Like, this is crazy. It's on like this chassis jig, is what I would assume this is. I don't know. Again, I'm not super knowledgeable when it comes to like this side of the world of cars, which is cool. I like learning about stuff, but this is crazy cool. Everything's up in there. Oh, cool. He's got a lot of pictures of like holes and what they're doing. This is, I don't know. This stuff's super cool to me. This is one they're building a chassis. Looks like this is probably going to be like a land speed car maybe or something. They got all kinds of stuff here. Going through like all this reinforcement, like just building. This is like building a go-kart by hand, and it is absolutely insane to me. I love this stuff. It's so cool. This is one I was looking through on his Facebook, and he has a lot of posts about this. Built this fender. This is the next fender here. These marks are apparently, I was talking to another guy here because he's been busy talking to other people. These are apparently like shrink marks. I don't know a lot about it and a lot about metal stuff, but these are like shrink marks, but this piece will be another fender like this. And there's two of them down there, and then he seams them together, and then you don't even know. That's crazy. It's so cool. This is all like the machines. Apparently there's like, I don't know all of the information, but this is like apparently like 4 of these in the world or some crazy stuff. This is just nuts. This is where you make all your stuff. So all the people that are, this is just me joking, but all the people that want to talk crap and be like, your wheels and your suspension aren't a build. Well, technically, your build's not a build either, when it comes to a certain scale of things. This is insane, and it is super cool. I hope you guys enjoy this episode as much as I do. I hope that I get to do this episode justice, but I'm also like a kid in a candy store, so I don't know what I'm looking at, and I'm just all over the place. So kind of just talking, so I have some stuff to talk about, hopefully. Like, look at this. He made like some of these door skins, not that one I don't think, but on the other side I think he made the door skins. He makes these panels. Like, this panel was made by him. Like, all bent, all this stuff in the back. That's just insane to me. That is so cool. And I don't care what kind of car person you are, this kind of stuff should be cool to anybody who's really a car person. It's just neat seeing it, and this is like all these chop tops. So cool. Man.
Tell me all the ways I can stay awake to keep the world from weighing on my brain. Why don't you say the words if you come to set me free, then let it be. In a hole under the house, I keep my secrets hidden. Scraps of paper, woven threads.
Like, you hear how the tone changes? Because it's preloading that bowspring. So this is, like I said, this is 1909 technology. There's no bearings. It's a machined billet main shaft on a casting, and it floats on a pillow of oil. And then this, I mean, very simple. And then this, same thing. It's not a bowspring, but it has this clamp, and it's preloaded by coil springs. And this one, its lightest hit is as hard as that one's hardest hit. So this is what I do like all of my shrinking and stuff on with thumbnail dies. So you can do radial stretch and linear stretch on the planishing hammer. It's just very slow because it doesn't have that hit. Yeah, like you think of the cylinder in an air motor, it's about that big and probably ½ inch in diameter. So its moving mass isn't enough to do anything. Just this upper ram is 35 pounds. So it's slinging that, and you're driving a 35-pound hammer through it every stroke. So it's, if you break everything down like into the root words, power hammer, that means it has a lot of power behind it. And the springs are what does that. And then like a pull max is a fixed stroke reciprocating machine. So it's just on a cam or an eccentric, and it's always the same up and down stroke, no throw.
Is that used for the same thing, stretching?
That's for bead profiles. Yeah, you can do some thumbnail shrinking on a fixed stroke machine, but the problem is as you shrink, you're gathering the material so the thickness changes. So then you're constantly adjusting that because as the material gets thicker, you don't want it to stretch it. So you're always opening that gap as the material gets thicker and thicker. On a power hammer, you have a 1/4 inch gap and it throws that upper die, and you don't have to worry about that gap changing that much. Power unit. Yeah. And this will do 1/8 inch steel.
1/8 inch steel?
Yeah.
Oh. So quiet. That's like how this does both or does it
So this has shrink dies in it.
just change the die set. Oh wow. Holy cow.
So it'll move real quick. And like this adjusts the tool gap on it. So if you don't want it to bite quite that hard or you need to come in and kind of clean that up. Okay, soften that out. And then you would go from here to the planishing hammer and smooth all of that out. So an English wheel stretches on a linear stretch. So, like, yeah, so your force comes outward this way because your contact patch is right there. So it works in a tension base. A power hammer works in a relaxed state because it's rearranging the way the grains lay. A wheel just is constantly pushing out. So on a power hammer, you can do radial stretch, linear stretch, or shrinking. On a wheel, all you can do is linear stretch. So all it is, like, all metal shaping in general, whether it be a car part, an airplane, it's just all a series of shrinks and stretches, but how they're arranged. And they all do it different. Like these, they grab the atoms and they squeeze them together so they're not happy. You're forcing them there. So when you go to weld it or you introduce heat, everything moves around and it relaxes itself back out. The power hammer, you don't get that because it's rearranging the way the grains lay. Those are kick shrinkers and stretchers, so it's the same thing as this, but you use the treadle and you use your foot to do it. Yep. Yeah, like for me, you have way more control with your foot, so I can guide the panel, and then you swing that treadle. It just doesn't work nearly as fast. It's the same principle. Most of my shaping works.
Are these identical?
Yeah, these are the same. The difference
You got 2
is,
different dies in them?
yeah. So like if you face them this way, they're shrinking. If you turn them around that way, they're stretching.
Okay, I thought maybe you had one for shrinking and one for stretching.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I did because I just got tired of changing the tooling out. Well, it depends.
Start with it's thinner to start with because you're going to end up, like say you wanted a 22 gauge is what you're working with in your finished piece. If you have to start with something thicker like a 20 or something by the time you do all the
It depends
stretching,
on what you're trying to do. So like say you're doing a low crown like a roof insert or a door skin, you're talking about 5 thousandths of an inch thickness change over a 48 by 48, which is a ton of shape. So it's not really going to change that much. You're not going to change a whole gauge thickness.
Okay.
If you're doing like a linear stretch, so say like on a sprint car where it's formed this way and you have a big reverse where the cowl comes up, that'll get really thin depending on how long that leg is. If it's a short leg like this, it'll change 10, 15 thousandths. If it's this long, out here it'll get so thin you can tear it. You're turning it into tin foil.
Okay.
So like aluminum I work in 16 gauge, and then in steel I use 19 gauge draw quality. So it's a 67, and then it's got part of a 70 hood on it and 69 tail lights.
I thought it had 69 tail lights in it.
Yeah, so then we change everything. He doesn't want it to be like modernized and everything tucked and smoothed, but he wants it to fit better. And like that's why I'm making the quarter extensions and reshaping the bumpers and making everything more appealing. And we were afraid with that Boss 9 being a convertible, it folding up on itself. So that's why I designed and built the full tube chassis for it. It'll be neat.
Where's that owner from?
Akron. The only thing left that's original is the windshield frame and some of the interior around the back seat. Everything else is all new. Yeah, we had to take the strut or shock towers out. It's a big old motor.
Man, that's a big motor.
But I mean, you can see I reshaped the front to accept the 70, and then like had to reshape this around the radiator tab.
So is it gonna be, are you gonna cut out the center of the hood? Is there an error?
We're gonna put a scoop on it.
Scoop on it?
Yeah. So that's what the scoop's gonna look like. But it's not gonna be a shaker.
Oh.
He didn't want the shaker.
Right.
But then, like, these are the wheels he's got. So they're big, but they look kind of like the old ones.
Oh, yeah.
So there's.
I looked at that.
Yeah.
That's a backward wheel well.
Yeah, but it's been pushed
not.
out. Yeah, it's been pushed
Oh,
out.
I see, you pushed it out.
Yeah.
So when guys put ladder bars on cars, that's to keep the rear end from turning, right?
Well, it helps with weight transfer.
Okay.
So the ladder bar would come forward, and it would change its lift point it would put it up here, so it gives you more leverage for weight
Oh,
transfer.
I see, okay. Is that what those bars are?
No, they're the triangulated 4-link bars.
Okay.
So the bottom bars are parallel to the frame, and then the top bars are triangulated in to keep the rear end from walking left to right.
Either way. When I see these this nice welding, is that MIG?
No, it's all TIG. I TIG weld everything.
That's all TIG.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't do any MIG welding.
Don't do any MIG welding.
Yeah, all the sheet metal's TIG welded, the chassis, everything.
And tell me all the ways I can stay away to keep the world from weighing on my brain.
Overall, I had an amazing time at Cornfield Customs last night. I learned a lot about bending metal, what makes bending metal and shaping metal and doing all that kind of stuff important, the stretching and the shrinking, stuff of that nature. I also learned a lot about what seems to be a dying portion of the car community, which is the land speed stuff that's done at the Salt Flats out in Bonneville. There's a lot of people that seem to be very passionate about it, and it's a super cool thing to do and get involved in. We did talk a little bit about some of the classes that they're opening up to try to get more of the younger generation involved. So if it's something you might be interested in, definitely explore that, just so that that portion of the car community stays alive and well and operating. Overall, I want to thank Mike, the owner of Cornfield Customs, for hosting this night. It was an awesome time. It was cool to go out there, have a garage hangout, chit chat with a bunch of people, talk a lot about cars just in general, learn a lot of things in an area I have no idea about. I'm not well informed. I'm not smart with it. I've never done it. So it was super cool to see that, super cool to see the passion and all the knowledge that he has and learn about what he does. He's been in business for 20 years, started out with absolutely nothing, straight out of high school, has just built what he has. And it's an amazing thing to see. Seeing people like that with such a passion and skill, talent to do the things that he does is super cool. Overall, again, thank you to Cornfield Customs for opening up your doors, letting people in. If you're in the Cincinnati area, or if you just want to travel and check it out, he does do this, be the first Friday of every month, as long as he is in town. Follow their Facebook page, Cornfield Customs. I know they have a couple other social medias. I'll make sure they're linked in the description. He also does host classes, so if it's something you're interested in learning about, reach out and see if you can sign up for classes and learn a little bit about what they do. Build yourself a new talent. I know this episode's a little bit different than some of the other episodes we've done. I do appreciate you guys tuning in. Every Sunday at noon, we release new episodes. As we work into the springtime, I will probably try to release a little bit more. But I do appreciate you guys tuning in and checking out what's going on. Is there anything else you'd like to see? Let me know. I will be doing a giveaway, some t-shirts here in a little bit. If you have any questions or concerns, hit me up. Follow me on all the socials at Cars with Jesse on TikTok, Instagram. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, comment. Have a great day, and I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye.